Hey everybody. So we have some really crazy uh, results coming in from the European Championship in France. The group stages are over, and looking at the bracket for the round of 16, it looks really, like I said yesterday, lopsided because the second half of the bracket is loaded with big name Western European teams, and we are going to get a team from the first side of the bracket that has never won any major international title before reaching the final. Um, just go over some of the results. Yesterday, Croatia had a stunning comeback against Spain with a Perisic goal on the counterattack in the 87th minute. Really happy that Croatia won and they won this group. It was one of my bold predictions that Croatia would win this group and reach the semifinal. Now that's looking like a bigger possibility, so I'm really excited about that. Um, Today, Portugal and Hungary must have been the game of the tournament so far. It was an all-out goal fest. Hungary surprisingly taking the lead in the first half through Zoltan Guerra's strike in the 19th minute. Portugal just looked out of sorts, and Nani pulled one back for them at halftime, 1-1. But Hungary were really the better team during that first half. And then in the first 15 minutes of the second half, it was just goals galore, back and forth. Hungary retaking the lead, Portugal equalizing. Hungary retaking the lead, Portugal equalizing. And really, the last 30 minutes, Portugal should have went ahead and got another goal to win the match, 4-3. But things sort of leveled off after that, and both teams seem to have accepted the reality of the impending draw. Um, Iceland with a stunning counter-attacking last-minute goal against Austria. Austria, one of the people's biggest dark horses of this tournament, are out with 1 point. They're going home. A huge disappointment in this European Championships. A lot of people had them going far. But Iceland, a small nation of 300,000 people, really great fans, an awesome national anthem. They did it. They got a win, 2-1. They finished level with Hungary at the top of Group F on 5 points, but they finished in second on goal difference only. So congratulations to the small Scandinavian nation of Iceland, qualifying for their first ever tournament and advancing to the round of 16. It was so cool. They fully deserved it. They're a great team. Um, Portugal still survived, though. After drawing all three of their games, Portugal have advanced as one of the four best third-place teams with 3 draws, 4 goals scored and 4 goals conceded. They just barely survived, and luckily for them, Iceland's goal sends them to the easier side of the bracket, where Portugal have a decent path now to the semifinals. The Republic of Ireland upset Italy right towards the end with a cross from West Houlihan that found the head of Robbie Brady, and I'm so happy. Ireland needed a win today to stay in contention, to advance, and nothing short of a victory would have gotten them through, and they did it against the Italians, a team that had already clinched their spot in the next round, rested a few players, and now the boys in green are going to the round of 16, and I'm very, very excited about that. I have my green shirt on today, supporting Republic of Ireland, and they got some revenge on Italy from their Euro 2012 defeat back in Poland and Ukraine. So Belgium defeated Sweden. Zlatan Ibrahimovic arguably had a goal that was ruled. I don't know if it was offside or that his leg was too high in the air, but it should have stood. Sweden arguably could have won this game 1-0, and Belgium would have been out. But that's not how it rolled. 9 Golan punished them on the counterattack, got the 1-0 win for Belgium. Sweden are going home. This is Zlatan Ibrahimovic's last game. It's sort of a shame, but that's the end of the line for him in his Swedish international career. So, looking at the end of this group stage, we now have Northern Ireland advancing with after a win over Ukraine and forcing Germany to only a 1-0 loss. Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, Portugal, and now Slovakia as the four teams that advance uh, as the four best third-placed sides. And Albania and Turkey have both been eliminated. Turkey was holding on until the end for that result between Ireland and Italy, but it was the Republic of Ireland who sends the Turks home on 3 points. So these last 2 3 days, guys, have had some really interesting results. Really fascinating last minute dramatic football. And boy, it's been a doozy to watch. Um, I have to go back to that bracket. The bracket with, let me read this to you. The second half of the bracket with Germany against Slovakia, Italy, Spain, France, England. Germany, Italy, Spain, France, and England. 5 big teams on one side of the bracket. And on the other side of the bracket, with a much more lenient path, you have Switzerland, Poland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Hungary. I mean, if this is not the most uneven bracket for a round of 16 that I've ever seen in a major tournament, then I don't know what is. But you know what? I love it. I love it because we're guaranteed to see a new team in the final of the European Championships, unless it's Portugal, who reached the final in 2004, excuse me. And we're going to see a bunch of really tight, awesome Murderer's Row type games between the big name sides in the latter half of the bracket. We're going to see Italy Spain right off the bat, a rematch of the 2012 European Championship final. We could potentially see a France England quarterfinal, a Germany Spain quarterfinal, and then a Germany or Spain versus France semifinal, and that's going to be huge. You look at the first half of the draw. You look at only 2 3 teams that really stand out that should take huge advantage of this and who should have a realistic chance of reaching the final. I'm looking at Portugal, Belgium, and Croatia. No offense to Wales, Northern Ireland, or Hungary, or Switzerland, but you look at the easier half of the draw, and those 3 teams, Portugal, Croatia, and Belgium, really stick out, and one of them should get to the final. So I know I had Croatia reaching the semis, and it's looking like it's a really good chance they're still going to reach the semifinals. But I had Croatia meeting Portugal in the semis, but that's not how it played out. Croatia will meet Portugal early in the round of 16. And in my opinion, guys, I think the winner of that game between Portugal and Croatia might just reach the final. Because I'm looking at this Belgian team who they're going to have their hands full against this Hungarian side. I underestimated Hungary too. I think Hungary can get a result against Belgium and upset them. I do. And even if they don't, Belgium will most likely have to play a very inspired and impressive Welsh side in the quarterfinals. And that's going to be another tough game for them. So, unless Belgium kick it into high gear and Wilmots really finds the lineup for this team, I'm not so confident Belgium's going to get to the final. So, I think that we're probably going to see either Croatia or Portugal in the final. And not many people predicted that beforehand. And as far as who reaches the final from the other side of the bracket with all the heavyweights, that's anybody's guess. I don't know. I still have Germany winning this tournament. I'm still sticking with it because I don't really have a choice. But we could see a final of Croatia, Germany, or Portugal, Germany, or maybe Belgium, Germany. And honestly, don't count out other teams like Poland and Wales, because Wales have had a fantastic tournament so far. Poland have not lost any games. They didn't concede any goals against the Germans. They look really good. So you look at the first 8 teams in the top half of the bracket. I literally think all 8 teams, yes, including Northern Ireland and Switzerland, have a chance, a decent chance, to go far in this tournament and maybe reach the final. Um, that first game, Switzerland-Poland, I think they're pretty evenly matched teams, personally. I have no idea who's going to win that. Croatia versus Portugal, that's a tough, tough encounter. Croatia coming off with a lot of confidence from their victory over Spain. Portugal, a team that has finally found its goal-scoring mojo. Uh, a really strong Welsh team against a Northern Ireland side that not many people had advancing, that gave Germany a hard time. A Hungarian team that nobody saw topping their group. Against an underwhelming Belgian side. Literally, guys, any of those 8 teams I just mentioned can get to the final. And, wow. Wow. I don't know who's going to win this tournament. I have no idea who's going to win this tournament. But you look at that top half of the bracket and you have to think, on paper, only on paper, Belgium and the winner of Croatia versus Portugal should get to the semis, those 2 teams. But guys, it's all, paper doesn't mean anything because it's all played out on the field. So we're going to see what happens. And I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Even for the other half of the bracket with all the big name teams. There's a couple of teams in the other half that are not big name teams, like Slovakia and Iceland. But man, you have France versus the Republic of Ireland, which is going to be a revenge match, a rematch of the game between France and Republic of Ireland, where Thierry Henry had that handball that sent France to the World Cup. So Ireland's going to be really motivated in that game. You have an England going up against an Icelandic team that could cause them a lot of problems and frustrate them. And you have Slovakia, who are no pushovers either, against a German team that really has not been laying on the goals in this tournament. So I think we have 8 really good games. All 8 really good games. And I don't know what's going to happen. So these are just my thoughts. What do you think about the bracket heading into the round of 16? How do you see it all playing out? What are your reactions to today's games and yesterday's games? Leave a comment, subscribe, feedback, give an opinion, and I'll see you guys later today when I make my prediction video for Chile against Colombia. So until then, peace.